Hey everybody, Stinky here with a new video. This one is going to be short. I'm going to go over two things. First of all, different builds that you can focus on as a Warlock and PvP for Season 3 of the War Within, which starts tomorrow. This is being recorded right before the new patch really kicks off, and you can get new honor gear, you can get conquest gear, and you can start gaining rating so you can achieve your ratings goals for the season. So I'll start with going over some of the different Warlock builds for all three specs. And then I'm going to go over some points about getting geared up during the season. And then I'll talk a little bit about playstyle for the Warlocks and what has changed and what is the same since Season 2 of the War Within. I have three pretty comprehensive guides for each of Demo, Affliction, and Destro on my YouTube. You can check it out, youtube.com/@smellystinky. Got a ton of really helpful videos for Warlock PVP. Those are going to be a little bit out of date within a few weeks. We're still going to have to play some and see how the balance is and how things shake out over the next few weeks. And once we really know what the optimal builds are, we're going to update all those guides. But for now, this is sort of what I'm thinking is going to be the direction Warlock is taking, at least in the early part of the season. Again, this is a caveat. This has not been tested. We don't have the new gear. We haven't seen all the different balancing changes that Blizzard is going to implement in the first weeks of the season. They always do a bunch of PvP balancing, but this seems like what's probably going to be working. So, first up, Demonology builds. I think Diabolist is probably going to be the better hero talent this season. There were a lot of buffs this season for Diabolist in particular, a lot of damage buffs basically. That I think send it over the edge. Soul Harvester still seems very good too, so I'm going to show you builds for both. For Diabolist, this is the build I'm using. I'll put the build code in the video description so you can try it yourself. But the main departure from previously is we're probably no longer taking Doom and Pact of Eredruin. These do actually a lot of damage, so it may be the case that we find a way to like weave this back into our build. But they're a little bit harder to juggle, so it's actually a quality of life improvement not taking these. And instead we're taking points into Demonic Brutality and Immutable Hatred. These both got buffed, especially Immutable Hatred, and this is just passive damage that your Felguard pet is going to be doing. It makes it much stronger, so even when you're crowd controlled and you're not able to do what you want to do, your pet is going to be whacking at your opponents and doing a ton of damage. It's really, really nice. I've been testing this point here, Improved Demonic Tactics. I think it's good even though it's a crit-based node, and crit tends to be worse in PvP because crit does essentially 50% less damage in PvP than in PvE. But it still seems pretty good. I think I'm going to be testing this over here as well, Demonic Calling, and I'm going to be testing it here. This could be an interesting node, Fiendish Ablation. Never took it before, but Diabolist now has a pretty nice burst window. And this will make your burst stronger because your burst is often lined up with your Grimoire Felguard. Basically, the big difference in playstyle with Diabolist in this season is that your Infernal Bolt hits super hard. So Infernal Bolt got mega buffed, and it can crit for somewhere between like 5 and 6 million, which is a huge burst window for Demo that it never had before. So it's possible that you can line up nice burst with Infernal Bolt and then your Grimoire Felguard together. Otherwise, I'm probably going to just shove this in here, get some extra passive damage. The other major change is that we now have Master Summoner. It used to be a PvP talent, but it's now baseline in the tree. This is a really nice quality of life improvement because we can now take 3 different PvP talents. So you'll probably often take Nether Ward, often take Soul Rip, and Call Fellord. This is probably the baseline combination, except that when you face a lot of melee, you're going to take Impish Instincts instead of Nether Ward. Okay, now let's show you the Soul Harvester build. Again, I'm going to put all these build codes in the video description so you can check it out yourself. Same exact points. Soul Harvester playstyle I think is looking largely the same as last season. We'll see how the tier set affects your damage profile, but generally speaking, it does a lot of consistent damage, really hard to shut down. This might end up being the better spec overall because it has such good damage profile. But it's the same thing. You have a little bit more damage shifted over to your pet, Felguard, and you're going to be doing the same rotations as before. Okay, now let's check out Affliction. Affliction is going to be interesting. We're not quite sure how it's going to look in the new season. until we really get the new tier set and we can kind of test the different ways that Affliction is working in different scenarios. I think it's going to be pretty good in Blitz once again, and maybe it's going to be good in Solo Shuffle and Arena. It's hard to say. But Hellcaller looks pretty interesting. There's a lot of changes for Hellcaller. Wither damage got basically buffed a lot, including Black and Soul, and your tier set is going to give you a little bit more of a threatening kind of kill window when you pop Malevolence. So the build looks largely the same as in Season 2, and there's a few points you can change here and there. Like I like to take a lot of Demonic Resilience points. You can shift those over to Stalker's Guile for more damage, over here for more tankiness, and then over here, most of your points are going to be largely the same. You can play around with Malediction, or you can get improved Haunt with the Malevolent Visionary. These are all kind of just like little changes around the edges. You'll see different players take different points here and there, but this is generally the playstyle. You're still going to be focused on getting your Soul Rot into Malevolence, into Dark Glare, and then Malefic Rapture combo as their kill window. So that playstyle is largely the same. It's just that you do a little more damage this season. Soul Harvester, I think this is basically unchanged from Season 2. Exactly the same playstyle. You're still doing the same thing. Soul Harvester might end up being better than Hellcaller in Arena and Solo Shuffle. It's a TBD thing. We're going to have to figure it out. Same playstyle as before. You're going to be popping Soul Rot into Dark Glare, and then Haunt Shadowbolt combos are going to be part of your major kill window. Actually, for Soul Harvester, I would probably be taking like here instead. Okay, that's Affliction. Affliction's looking good, and Destro is also looking good. So basically, all 3 Warlock specs and all 6 hero talents all look fairly strong. I think we're going to have a pretty good time this season. Diabolist, this got a little bit buffed as Destro. The buffs are more meaningful for the demo side, but that Diabolist Destro is still looking very strong. High damage profile. Chaos Bolt's probably going to still crit very hard. I haven't really seen it. We can't really know until we have the tier set and everyone has full gear. But this is the same build as last season, exactly the same. I don't think you've changed any talent points. The one thing you might play around with is this one here, Dimension Ripper. A lot of people might skip this. This is basically a nice little proc damage. You can get Power Overwhelming for a little bit more kind of Chaos Bolt damage. One possibility is that Incinerate is a little bit better this season. I haven't played around with it enough to know. If it is, then you probably will want to take Burn to Ashes, and then throw in a couple of talent, like figure out a way to squeeze some points into Sarge or Eye Technique here, something like that. Right now though, this is going to be my default build, Soulfire and standard Diabolist talents. For Hellcaller Destro is probably again going to be the stronger hero talent in most situations, certainly in Blitz and possibly also in Arena and Solo Shuffle. Because Hellcaller is getting buffed as well. So Malevolence is very scary cooldown. You're going to get to a ton of damage every minute when you pop Malevolence, and you have Withers on a lot of targets. Same general build. You could play around with, instead of getting Soulfire, you get the Channel Demon Fire nodes here. I like this node a lot. It's just a fun playstyle, especially if you find an isolated target and you channel your full Demon Fire into a single target. It does more single target burst than Soulfire, so it's really nice. But at the same time, Soulfire is just very strong. It's always going to work in every situation, and you get the free of 1 talent point to get something like Conflag with Chaos here for extra damage. But this is the general same build as last season as well. And the playstyle largely unchanged. Your kill window is again going to be centered on your Ritual of Ruin, and you're trying to get multiple Chaos Bolts off in the same window, especially after a Summon Infernal, because Crashing Chaos will make those Chaos Bolts hit super hard. You'll blow people up in 2 or 3 Chaos Bolts, no problem. So again, really strong spec. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, in terms of gear, the main things you need to keep in mind for Season 3 is starting tomorrow, hopefully you will have saved up some honor. I've saved up 12,000 honor on this character, and I think you'll need around 11 or 12,000 to buy all the honor gear. So starting tomorrow in Dornogal, you'll go over here southeast of Dornogal, the same little room where they They put the PvPers in the corner of town. This is just where we hang out. This guy here, Velard, or this woman here, Velard, sells all the honor gear, and you'll just buy basically everything here. You'll just spend all your 11,000 honor. You'll get this greenish gear. It's going to be called something different. I don't know what the next season is called. It's not prized. It's going to be something else. And then you'll instantly be ready to go once you have all your honor gear. This is the conquest vendor, so eventually you'll start getting conquest, but the way you get points every season is it's capped, so you're only going to get so much conquest per week. You'll be able to buy a little bit here and there. My first conquest purchases are probably going to be stuff that's going to be converted into tier set pieces, so like gloves, helm, shoulder, and chest, because this season we're probably going to get the set pieces. We're probably going to wear 4 set pieces and in our PvP set, and then we're going to, for the rest of it, we're going to get conquest gear. The 4 set pieces are probably everything except the pants, because the pants are crit mastery, which are kind of the worst itemized of the 5 pieces. The other thing you need to probably do is a little bit of PvE. You need to get this cloak. It's called Reshi Wraps. So this cloak appears to be very good in PvP as well as PvE. It basically has a little extra damage proc, and you can control the stat it has in it. Right now I have a crit gem in there. I can easily just shift it out. Say if I want versatility in there, I just swap in a versatility gem, and now it's a versatility cloak. Really, really cool to be able to customize this on the fly, and you don't lose your gem. It just stays in your inventory, so you can just swap it in and out as you like. It takes about an hour to do the questline for this. This is the new zone. This is going to be over here in Koresh. Koresh is the new zone. You do the campaign quest and you do some phase diving quests or whatever, and then you'll be able to get this cloak. It's a very cool looking zone too, so I do recommend trying it out. A couple of other things to keep in mind is that the gems that you put into this thing, this is crafted by a tailor. So I can craft them. If you're on the Nerzul server, just send a personal order with no tip required over to Stinky at Nerzul. I'll craft it for you, no problem. But any tailor can craft this pretty easily. You can send public orders. It's very cheap to craft. There's 1 for each stat, and again, you only need to craft 1 of each, and you can, socket it freely. Other things to keep in mind. Let's see. So enchants and gems are largely the same as last season. So if you watch some of my prior build guides, you can get a sense of what you should be using as Affliction or Destra or whatever. It's the same thing. Authority, Radiant Power on your weapon, Crystal Radiance on your chest, stuff like that. Stat priority. I would say that you're probably still going to prioritize versatility and haste over everything else. I'm probably going to put versatility on all my rings, for example, enchant them with radiant versatility. Then I'm going to get haste, and then mastery, and then crit. We're going to see there's probably a little bit more room for experimentation, because once you get to about a 30% haste and versatility threshold, that you kind of have a little bit more flexibility to play around with other stuff. You're basically tanky enough, you cast fast enough, and you can start to get other things like mastery and crit. But for the start of the season, I'm just going to focus on those two stats mainly, versatility and haste. And then the other things to keep in mind is that you will probably get, if this season is like any other season, you'll probably get a free conquest weapon. You'll probably get a staff for free just by playing the game. You'll get it once you reach a certain amount of conquest earned. You're going to get a token to trade it in for this staff right here. You'll get a haste versatility staff. It'll be the best in slot staff for PvPers. So just don't buy a conquest staff yet. You can use bloody tokens or whatever, or honor, get that to hold you over for a few weeks, but that'll save you a lot of points down the road. The other thing to keep in mind is you'll probably also get 9 free crafting tokens, which will let you craft your jewelry. That's probably the first thing I'm going to craft as soon as I get them. I'm going to get 2 rings and a neck piece crafted. That way you can get your embellishments right away. You can get elemental focusing lens, just 2 of them, put them both on your rings, and you're good to go for the season in terms of embellishments. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to note one more thing before I close, is that the playstyle so far seems really, really good. Warlock seems strong, very strong this season, maybe stronger than in Season 2 overall. I think Demonology looks really, really, really good in Solo Shuffle and Arena. Affliction and Destro probably both very good, just as usual. Destro probably has an edge. And then in Blitz, Destro and Affliction, again, they're probably going to dominate in Blitz, and Demo will probably be pretty good, which I love playing. I play a lot of Demo and Blitz. I got rank 1 in it. I got rank 1 in Solo Shuffle as Demo last season as well. I don't know if I'll plan on pushing quite as much this season. Probably going to be a little busier, but I do plan on playing a lot of it, and I'll update my guides as soon as I have more info on what the balancing is like and where all these extra little talent points should go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, I'll be streaming a lot on twitch.tv/smellystinky, and I'll be on youtube.com/@smellystinky, making videos, making guides, and also just kind of having fun with the new season. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Retail PvP is definitely where it's at. MOP looks boring as as games get these days. I definitely think that you should be playing retail, especially Solo Shuffle and Solo Blitz. All right, I'll see you all later. Thanks.